Hey, I've got an idea about bending. There's those tubes warming up. Alright, this is just an exercise, or the way I think about bending. From teaching guitar for 43 years, watching people bend, it seems they sort of bend and then they kind of bail out on the idea. My idea is you have to stay with that bend and own it and take it home. You got to get out of the bend. You start the bend, you got to finish the bend. All right. This is like number one bend area, and like an A minor pentatonic. We're going to bend third string, 7th fret. Just for an exercise, this is what I recommend, is bend it up and hold it. Okay? Just get used to that. Let it be long. Now make space. I'm still holding it. It just decayed. Alright, check this out. Here's an idea. You can take your volume, roll it off, take away your hands, you're done. Okay, so we didn't have any like nasty artifacts or sounds or racket, but that's not going to be handy to turn your volume down every time you bend your string. Alright, so this is what I see with students. They kind of bend and they sort of like, fall apart. It's okay. Let's fix that. So when you bend up, just think of holding it. Okay, just one idea. Let's add another idea. Let's bend up. Now, it decayed. I'm going to get out of it quietly. I'm just going to mute here and take my hand away. So there's no sound. No, I call it an artifact. Let's try bending it and add vibrato like this. And here's some of that junk rattling. Okay, the way I got out of it without making more noise, I relax slowly and pull away. If you pull away too fast, what happens? That was extreme. You have to get away from that bend without making that boing, unless you want that. So you have to ease away from it with your fretting hand. Or your pick can just go down and touch that string. Check this out with my pick. That's called a rest stroke. Lift away. So you can just touch the string with your pick, then you're free to move your hand away. So it's like I call it like your disc breaks. You're just going to touch that string and it stops moving. Or you can head down. We're at the 7th fret. Let's go. But before I hit that 5, I did stop the string with my pick. Stop. So that those little stops in there are subtle, and I don't really think about them, I don't stop and think how it's done. But again, we do hear people that it's normal but not really desirable to get that some sort of out of control, extra sound. Let's go to 2nd string, 8th fret and bend that guy. So some of that extra kind of fret kind of sounds like Foxy Lady at the beginning. But if we're cranked up, we got some fuzz. You might get some feedback. That note is going to overtake that kind of grinding sound. Some of the grinding sound is not the end of the world. We just want to be able to control it a little bit to where it doesn't get out of hand. But like I say, if we had fuzz and some volume and maybe some delay or wah-wah pedal, that might start feeding back and just sound really cool with an overtone. So Number one thing I would do is just make space. Just freeze. You can block it, lift, or use your pick to touch it. Then you're free to pick up. Another way is to let your fretting hand silence it, which is a little problematic. So you kind of lift away without making a sound. You have to kind of silence it by relaxing your hand and then lift without making a sound, okay? So those are just some ideas about bending. Number one, try to hit that pitch and hold the pitch as an exercise. Then you're going to sound more in tune. Let it go long. It just sounds pleasant when the note rings longer. And then you can get away silently and make a little space in the music, which is nice. You know, stopping a note and making space is important. For example, just one little quick idea. I have a student yesterday. She's like, I'm like, what do you want to do? She's like, well, I've got We Will Rock You down pretty good. She goes, I'm like, wow, pretty fast. But without the space, it doesn't make any sense. So that's a good example of why that space and stopping is really important, okay? Cool. All right, Benz. I think I'm going to get going to my gig pretty soon. I got another private party to play. Whoa, I hope they're expecting me. I'm going to show up. You never know. I messaged them a couple of times, but they might send me home. That'd be okay. Cool, man. Keep practicing.